Hey, I am back today with an update about my own personal financial goals in 2023. Now, if you're new here, you're like, girl, what? Why would I care? But I talk about money on this channel, and I try to be as transparent as possible about money on this channel. And so earlier this year, or the end of last year, I made a video somewhere around here. I'll show you. I'll link it, and I'll link it in the description. I made a video about my personal financial goals for 2023. So we're going to talk about where I've gotten halfway through the year. Did I make it? Did I not make it? Am I on track? Am I not on track? What's going on? Hi. If you're new here, my name is Rashida Dow. I run this channel, Rashida Doe. I also have another channel, Rashida, in which I talk to women about taking career breaks and moving abroad. I am a career break coach. I've lived in Mexico for about 4 years. I live in Mexico City. I love to help women leave jobs that don't serve them to go live a life of their dreams. And so I talk about money because that's really hard to do with no money. You don't necessarily need a lot of money, but making money helps. Having some money helps. And so I talk about money on this channel to give you an idea of, what I'm doing to make money, to maybe give you some ideas of how you can make money, what I'm doing to save money, to give you ideas of how you can save money. And I am talking about my personal financial goals in this video and giving you an update of where I've gotten since January. So, have you made financial goals for the year? If not, it's time. It's the beginning of the second half of the year. You never know what you can do in 6 months, right? And so set goals, make it happen. Let me know in the comments if you set your goals for a year. If you have, I'm very proud of you. If you haven't, you still have time. Get it done. Let me know. Let me know in the comments when you've set your goals. If you want to share any of your goals with me, it doesn't have to be all of them. If you want to share any of your goals with me, I'd love to hear. I set my goals for 2023 in December 2022. I set the goals, I looked at them on paper, and I was like, how's this going to happen? And so what I did was I considered all of the categories I wanted to save for, and then I assigned them to a different either investment account, savings account, or checking account. And then I set the goal of what number I wanted them to be at to flesh out those goals, to meet the goals I had. What was the amount of money I wanted to have in that account? And then I looked at the amount of money I had in the account today. And then I saw, where the gaps were, what I needed to do to make some stuff happen. And that's how I set my goals for the year. I have a video about it here. You can watch. Boom, bam. Right? If you want the background. Watch it. Watch it. It's a good one. So if you watch my goal for the year, you know that basically I wanted to make an extra $145,000 this year. And when I say extra, I mean over my living expenses. Over my living expenses, over my BSing expenses, over my I shouldn't have bought them shoes expenses, over my... Where'd you buy that purse? Expenses? Yes. I wanted to make an extra $145,000 over... the money I spent the year. So, I'm here to tell you that in the first 6 months of the year, I did it! Okay, so I did not see a path to making it happen in 2022, right? Like, I am not a frugal person, so my living expenses aren't low. And I was like, how am I going to make the money for my living expenses and an extra $145,000 in a year? In a year. That sounds wild. But I told the universe what I wanted. I took action. I was tracking. I was paying attention to the money. And the universe was like, well, girl, you're doing your part. Here's some money. Now, how did that exactly happen? I made a video last week about my growth in the stock market, and that's how the majority of it happened. The majority of the money that I got from this year comes from, or the majority of the money that I have in my investments comes from my, the growth in the stock market. Not all of it, but some of it comes from growth in the stock market, which means that I had to get money for my living expenses elsewhere. And where I got the money for my living expenses from is from the summit that I ran last year I run a summit called Exodus Summit. We do it every year in the fall. It helps Black women take career breaks and move abroad, which is what I'm passionate about. So it really aligns perfectly with what is sitting on my spirit. But we do that every fall, and we made some money from it, and we left the money in the account. And then every month we would kind of just pay ourselves out. So every month I paid myself out from our Exodus Summit account, and I used that money to live on. I also used, it was enough money that not only could I live on it, but I didn't really make any income in the first half of the year. Not zero, but really low. New money coming in. Really, really low. I haven't been marketing. I haven't been doing anything. I took a 2-month vacation with my mom, and the money that I had coming in from Exodus Summit helped pay for that. My 2-month vacation, me not working for 2 months, the actual money needed to take the vacation and subsidizing some of my mom's vacation. I'm not paying for her whole thing though. She got to ante up a little bit, right? So yeah, honestly, most of that is from investment growth, which I talked about last week. But I want to tell you real quick what I did. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what my accounts are so you have an idea. I have my daily spending account, something that I call, and that's for bills and things. It's a U.S. account that I use mostly in the U.S. All my accounts are U.S. accounts. Don't tell the banks. I have an account that I use for my bills, for paying off credit cards, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I say paying off credit cards because I do use credit cards regularly, but I pay them off every month, so I don't carry a balance. I have a cash account, which I use for cash spending in Mexico or whatever country I'm in. I use my Charles Schwab savings account or checking account, and I use that account because it does not charge fees for withdrawals at ATMs. And if you do get a fee from an ATM at a different bank, they will reimburse your account for the bank's fee. So, like it, love it, use it. I also have a backup spending account, which is really my savings account. I keep some money in my savings account if, for any reason, I get overdrawn. As I'm saying this, I don't know if I've ever thought about it before, but as I'm saying this, I know that this goes back to when I was dead broke, right? I have a daily spending account, a cash account, and a backup spending account because I have overdrawn my account before, because I haven't had money to pay my credit cards, because I was unemployed and no money. And no money and a mortgage and student loans. Holla if you hear me, right? And so I know that is a symptom of the time in my life that was not abundant. There was a lot of lack. And so, yeah, as I say backup spending account, I know that that's financial trauma, right? I have an account because of financial trauma. But listen, I got the account, right? It is what it is. I don't need it. I think it's a point I'm making. I don't need it, but I have it. I have a business checking account, which I leave money in just in case I have any unforeseen business expenses, or if I want to invest in something large in my business. Not last October? No, October before. I spent, I want to say, close to $40,000 on coaching in 1 month. I firmly believe in coaching. I firmly believe in letting people who know how to get you to the next level get you there faster, but you can get there on your own, right? I don't believe in the hard way of figuring things out if I don't have to do that. So, boom, I tapped in with coaching, and I did that. So I have that money sitting there in case I want to do that again. I have an emergency fund. My goal amount in my emergency fund is $30,000. I don't own a home intentionally. And so my Expenses, I don't have a lot of foreseen emergencies, like maybe some health stuff, but hopefully not. Fingers crossed. And so I don't, you know, I don't have to pay for a new roof. But my goal is $30,000 in that account, just so that I have it. Once again, trauma, financial trauma. Not being able to scrape together 2 pennies has led me to the point I am in my life. But it's where I am until I get some therapy for this. This is what my numbers look like. I have a future fund, and my future fund is my Vanguard investments. So my mutual funds, it includes my retirement and non-retirement investments. I have mostly retirement money in there, but I do have some money that I can take out and play with, maybe buy a condo with if I wanted to, but I don't want to buy a condo. So I probably won't do that. All right, so the biggest growth was in my future fund, which is, hold please, $7,000 short of my goal for the year. That future fund also includes investments that are not mutual funds. It includes some stocks and some other stuff. About $7,000 of my goal, and then some of my other accounts are over the goal. So by the end of June this year, I was not only able to meet my $145,000 goal for the year of increase, but I surpassed it by $27,000. So I'm $27,000 over my goal halfway through the year. I'm at a loss for words. I literally, when I made the goal, I was like, yeah, right. Like, how is this ever going to happen? How are you ever going to pay for your living expenses and do all that? Well, I made my stocks are up $139,000 this year. I posted about that in the other video. My goal was $145,000, and my stocks were up $139,000. I told the universe what I wanted, and they did it, right? Like, I didn't do anything besides investing in the past, years in the past, right? My goal was $145,000 for the year, and my stocks are up halfway through the year, $139,000. The other money to get to it was money from the summit that I talked to you about, the money that we paid ourselves out from the account, and that I used for my living expenses. So I could leave all my investment growth in my investments because I had that money coming in from the summits. So exciting. So exciting. Also, I keep telling y'all that virtual summits are the move. Virtual summits allow me to work somewhere between 3 and 6 months out of a year and nothing else. I like them. I love them. I talk about them on this channel. All right, so how do I track my financial goals? I created a simple Google spreadsheet. I listed all the accounts. I listed the money I wanted in them, and I listed the money that I had in them. And each month I make a new column to say how much money I have in there now, and then I update the column that has the difference between the two. Super simple. What's the name of the account? How much money is in there? How much money do you want to have in there? And what's the difference? You could wipe out the current amount each month and put the current amount in, and so you only have 3 columns. But I add a new column in between and put the new number in there, so I have all my old historical data. Simple. Once a month I log in, check it, and done. All right. Have you set financial goals for the year? Like, if nothing else, this video should inspire you to set financial goals for the year, right? Like, I don't know what you want. But if you don't know what you want, you don't know where you're headed, right? You need to know what you want. Writing it down, putting it on paper makes it happen, right? I did not do anything to get here. The stock market did it. I said I wanted 145. I'm at 139. Right? Like, that's not a coincidence. And so, because I firmly believe that if I can say it, it can happen, I have increased my financial goals for the year. Right? I jacked it up another $500,000. Now, I see no path to making this happen, but I am wildly optimistic. I see no path to an increased $500,000 before the end of the year. I am wildly optimistic. Wildly. I put it on paper. I'm going to track it each month. I would like another $500,000 this year. Please, universe, whoever you believe in, tell them. Write it down, track it, do what you can to make it happen, to always be walking towards your financial goal. I'm always walking towards my financial goal, right? Some of that is being a good steward of money. Some of that is not touching my investments, because I know the more I take out, the less there is to grow. But other than that, I'm not doing much. I have increased my goal for the year. This is my update. Increased it by $500,000. Like I said, I do not see the way, but I didn't see the way in December, and I'm here in June. So I'm going to continue being wildly optimistic. I hope you are too. Please tell me you have some financial goals for a year. Let me know in the comments that you have them. If you want to let me know what they are, I'd love to hear them, and I'm wishing you the best. Until next time, bye. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. Have you subscribed? Have you turned on notifications? If not, now's your time. Get it done. Get it done. Leave a comment. And now I'll talk to you next time. Bye.